Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's Summer STEAM, part of Faulkner County Library's 2020 Summer Reading Program, Imagine Your Story. My name is Miss Mary, Storytime Programmer here at the library, and today we're going to do three different things. We are going to make shape monsters. That's right, I'm going to put out a bunch of different shapes of different colorful paper and some other materials. And this is what my shape monster looked like. Ha 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 ha. And then we are going to make mermaid tails. That's right, I'm going to use some different materials and put them together. And this is what my mermaid tail looks like. I'm going to make that. And then at the end, we are going to do our science demonstration, and we are going to try to figure out if air weighs anything. All right, I'm ready to get started. Here we go. Okay. All right, to make my shape monster, I'm going to be choosing from a variety, of different shapes. I've got rectangles, brown rectangles here of different sizes. I've got yellow rectangles in different sizes. I've got blue triangles in different sizes, yellow squares. I've got purple circles, big orange circles, small, long, narrow, pink rectangles. I've got all sorts of shapes and things. Now, one of the things I love about making shape monsters is that it gives us a chance to work on a couple of different skills. First of all, it helps you talk about size and shape. Big squares, little squares. You get to talk about colors, and it's a good planning activity because the easiest way for me to make my shape monsters is to put all the shapes together without glue and figure out what I want to do and then go back and put them all together. This is kind of what it looked like when I did it. I planned it first, and then I think I started filming it once I decided what to do. Okay, so you see for my shape monster, I use these tall red triangles and some blue triangles here. I use my chenille stems to make these loopy ears and some pom-poms for some fuzz and texture. I used the little purple circles and some googly eyes. I used a small brown rectangle for a nose, used a orange circle there, some blue triangles for pointy, fangy teeth, and some black yarn for a fuzzy beard. Anyway, I just love my shape monster, and if I may have to make another shape monster, but I bet if I made a second shape monster, it would look a whole lot different. Just love exploring shapes, sizes, colors, and figuring things out. Now, I'm gonna show you how I made my mermaid tail. Yes, so in our packets, we will all have this mermaid tail. So I colored mine, and then I cut it out, I think. And then after I had decorated, I attached it to another piece of scrapbooking paper. And then I took some of this, I know there's a name for this and it's escaping me, this kind of rope-like skinny twine stuff, and some very small seashells, and I attached it. I think and put some rhinestones on here. One of my rhinestones just fell off, so it kind of looked like a little bit of treasure, a little bit of drift seashells. Have fun with this. I'm going to put a variety of materials in your packets for you to use to make these. But you never know what you have at home that might be just the perfect thing for your mermaid tail. All right, here I go. wait to see your mermaid tails. If you remember, have your grown-up post it on Facebook or send it to us in a message. I would love to see them. It makes me really, really happy. Okay, let's find out if air weighs anything. For today's science demonstration, we are going to try to discover if air weighs anything. And really, what is air anyway? So when you hear people talk about air, they might use words like nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Those are all things that come together to make up the air that's all around us. And please excuse me, I was dressed up as Miss Mary Mermaid earlier, and I still have part of my makeup on. But yes, to find out if air weighs anything, we're gonna need a few things. We're gonna need 2 balloons. I've got a package of balloons here. We are going to need some string. So I've got this green yarn. We are going to need scissors, a thin piece of wood about 2 feet long. This one is more like a yard or 3 feet long, but I think it's going to work. And then you'll need a marker or a pen. All right, let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to do is use my ruler, and I am going to make marks across the wood about 3/4 of an inch from the end. So there's one end. Let's flip it around and do the other end. Now we've got to make our weighing balance, which means I need to tie a piece of string in the middle here so that when I hold it up with the string, it's balanced. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up in a, maybe I need to cut it first, see where it needs to be. Okay, so it's obviously too heavy on this end, so I'm gonna scoot it down some. I think I found it. Okay, I'm gonna mark it, tie it tight, and mark it with a marker in case it moves. Okay. Okay. Now I need to cut 2 pieces of string about the same length, about 6 inches. So let's see here. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 similar balloons and blow them both up, tie one off at the neck, but get the air out of the other. I just have to put a warning out here about balloons. I know that we use lots of small items, but balloons are a particularly nasty choking hazard. So if you ever have a latex balloon and it pops, well, even if it doesn't pop, even if the air just goes out of it, please make sure nothing gets left on the floor. A little kid could easily put that in their mouth, and we should never ever put balloons in our mouth. Stretch it out, here I go.
That looks pretty good. Okay, there's one blue balloon.
It says to blow up the other balloon, but let the air out of it. So let me stretch it out a little bit first. Okay, now it says to let the air out of this. I wonder if I can make it make a noise. That's annoying. Maybe I'll just let it do that. Okay, now those two strings that we cut out about 6 inches long, the same size, we are going to tie one around this balloon that we blew up. All right, so this string in the middle is in the right spot. That one's over the mark, that one's over the mark. Okay, now we're gonna hold up and see if air weighs anything. See which one of these two is heavier. Okay, so it looks like the balloon that is inflated and full of air is heavier than the deflated balloon. What is going on? Well, let's think about the differences between the two balloons. Really, the only difference is that one is empty and the other is full of air. But the air in the balloon is slightly compressed, which makes it more dense than the air around it, just here in the room, which makes our scale tip down. Huh, who knew when you compress air, you make it more dense, and that makes it heavier. Wahoo! So what else could you do to build on this science demonstration at home? Well, if you have a kitchen scale at home, you could put a glass of water on the top and weigh it. And then put your finger into the water without touching the glass and see if the weight on the scale is more or less. And what do you think the answer will be? Well, I am going to send the directions for this science demonstration and the answer, hopefully, to the glass water finger scale furthering of this science demonstration home with you. That's right. I will be sending all the directions home in our packets. Okie dokie. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's Summer STEAM. I had a lot of fun. I hope you have a lot of fun. I hope you keep thinking scientifically and exploring the world around you. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.